Reversing a linked list is a very fundamental concept that is asked in a lot of coding interviews. You are given the head of a linked list and you need to return a list that is in reverse order of the actual list. A similar problem is also available on HackerRank. Now, it is up to the problem statement that you need to modify the actual list or you can return an entirely new list. So, it is always better to read the question carefully first. If you're looking for a quick solution and just want to see the code, refer to the link in the description below to my GitHub profile. However, if you want to see how I came up with that solution, stick with me a little longer. Hello friends, welcome back to Study Algorithms, a place where I make algorithms fun and easy to learn. First, I will describe you the problem statement and show you a sample test case. Next, I will show you how you can reverse a linked list using a stack data structure. Going forward, I will show you how you can achieve the same result without using any extra space. All of this along with a dry run of the code. Without further ado, let's get started. Let us try to understand the problem statement first. Actually, it is pretty straightforward. You are given a linked list with a head pointer and it has the values 4, 8, 15 and 16. And ultimately, you need to return a list that is completely in the reverse order. What it means that you need to return a list that looks something like this. So you see, this list is entirely in the reverse order of the actual list. This problem is very similar to printing a list in the reverse order. So if you want to take a stab at that problem first, feel free. However, if you're facing some difficulties, let us see how we can solve it. First of all, we will try to solve it using the stack data structure. Think about what do you need to do in the problem. If you start to traverse the list from the beginning, you get the elements 4, 8, 15 and then 16. You have to create a list that is in the reverse order. So wouldn't it be nice if you could read the value 16 first and 4 at the very end? This should give you some hint. What is a data structure that works on this policy? That is last in, first out. Yes, that is the stack data structure. So let us bring in a stack. So this is my value stack in which I would be storing all of my elements. What do I do next? I see the first element as 4 and I push it onto my stack. Next, I see the element 8, so I push it onto my stack. Next, I see the element 15, I push it onto my stack. And then I see the value 16, I push it onto my stack. Once I reach null, I stop. Next, you have to now reverse this list, right? So if you would pop elements from the stack, you would get it in the order 16, 15, 8 and 4. So we will take advantage of this. What I do is I create a new node. I pop an element from my stack and I write down the value in my new node. So you see, I got my first value. I will repeat the process again. I will take up a new node, assign the pointer, and then pop a value from the stack. So you see, I am now making a new list which is in the reverse order. If I repeat this process 2 more times, I will ultimately get my new list which is in a reverse order. And you can simply return your new head. If you will iterate over it, you will get the elements in a reverse order. How does the code for this look like? On the left side of your screen, you have the code to implement this algorithm. And on the right, I have a sample list. So what I do is I pass in my head as a parameter to the function. Next, what I do is I create a new value stack that will be holding all of my values from the linked list. So this is my value stack. In my next step, I traverse the list using a while loop and I will push each of the value in my stack. So I push the first value of the head and then I do a head dot next. So my head now points at 8. I will again push this value and do a head dot next. So ultimately my stack will look something like this. Once I reach null, I stop. Now my stack is complete. Going forward, what I do is I create a new list. that will store all of the elements in a reversed order. Because I have to start off this list somewhere, I start it off with a minus infinity value. And I create a new pointer ptr that is pointing over here. Going forward, I will run one more while loop that will run until my value stack is empty. In this loop, what do I do is I create a new node to the next of my original pointer. So I create a new node over here and I assign the value which I pop from my stack. So I assign the value 16 to it and this value is popped. I would then advance the value of pointer to my next value. So now ptr points at 16. This loop will run again. And once again, I will create a new node at the next of ptr. And this will have the value that I popped from the stack. So it has the value 15. And 15 gets popped from the stack. ptr once again moves one step forward. So you see, this is how we will pop an element from the stack and populate our new list. You remember how we created this new list? The pointer reversed list is still pointing at the first infinite node, right? So ultimately, what I do is I return a reversed list dot next. So my reversed list is returned. Now this method has a time complexity of order of n. That is because you are iterating through each of the node. And it also has a space complexity of order of n. That is because if your linked list has 10 nodes, then you need to create a new stack that has 10 of those values, right? How would you come up with the solution if you don't want to take up any extra space? Let me show you that. Using the method of stacks was really good. We were able to achieve our result easily. But nowhere we took advantage of the fact that linked list works on pointers and these values are just connected with each other, right? So why do you want to create an extra data structure? Can't you just flip the pointers somehow? Ultimately, what do you want? Your head should be at 16 and the next of 16 should be 15, right? So what if I do something like this? I remove this pointer and I change the next of 16 to 15. So now the next value of 16 would be 15. And we can repeat this process. I can remove this link and the next of 15 can point to 8. Once again, I can remove this pointer and the next of 8 can point to 4. And ultimately, I can remove the pointer from 4 and the next of 4 can point to null. As a last step, what I can now do is I can change my head. I remove it from here and I point my head to 16. What happens if you try to traverse this list now? You start from your head, that is 16, then you go to the next value, that is 15, then you go to the next value, that is 8, and then you go to the next value, that is 4, and ultimately you go at null. What did we just do? We reversed the list without using any extra space or using any extra data structure. How does the code for this look like? Let us have a look now. Let us do a dry run of the code to understand this concept. On the right, I have a linked list that I'm using as a sample, and my head is pointing at 4. This head is passed in as an input parameter to the function. Let's go step by step. Initially, I have some sanity checks. Like if my head is null, then I just need to return null because you cannot reverse a list that is already null, right? Next, I check if my linked list only has a single node. You cannot reverse a single node, right? And if you have just one node, then the next of head would be null, right? So if you just have a single node, you simply return the original value, and that would be it. If we pass these two conditions, that means we have a normal list. So how do you proceed now? You initialize a value pre-node that is currently pointing to null. Next, you initialize a value current node that is pointing to the head. Going ahead, we run a while loop until the current node reaches null. That means we have iterated all of the values. So how do we start? We initialize a value next node that is pointing to next of current node. We have three values now: a previous node, a current node, and a next node. Now all we need to do is swap the pointers so that the list becomes in a reverse order. Watch the next steps very carefully. I do a current node dot next equals to previous node. So this will change the pointer of the current node. So I remove this pointer and I say current node dot next equals to previous node. So the next pointer of current node is now pointing at null. Going ahead, I say previous node equals to current node. So now previous node will point at current node. One more step forward, we say current node equals to next node. So this time current node will point at next node. This concludes one iteration of the loop. Let me do one more iteration to show what is actually happening. I again start up my loop. I say that the next node equals to current node dot next. This time current node is pointing at 8. So the next node would point at 15, right? In my next step, I'm actually changing the pointer. So I say current node dot next equals to the previous node. So I remove the pointer of the current node and say that current node dot next equals to previous node. So you see, we are eventually making a reverse list. Going ahead in my next step, I say previous node equals to current node. So this time, previous node again starts to point at your current node. And as a last step, I say current node equals to next node. So this changes my pointer of current node. Once again, this while loop will run and it will update the pointers. At the end of this while loop, your pointers look like this. You see that the list has now been reversed, right? You start from 16, then go to 15, then 8, and then 4, and then eventually null. But our head is still pointing at 4, and without a head, you cannot traverse the list, right? So, just as a final step, what I do is I change my head to previous node. So, this will update the value of head from original position to my new position. And then I will return this new head. So now, if someone will try to iterate over this list, he will start from the head, then go 16, 15, 8, and 4. The main advantage of this solution is the space complexity. The time complexity still remains order of n, that is because you have to traverse all of the elements. However, the space complexity of this solution is order of 1. That is because you are not consuming any new data structures. You are just using some temporary variables to swap out the pointers. And this is where you take advantage of the linked list data structure. I hope I was able to simplify the problem and its solution for you. As per my final thoughts, take a moment to think about the solutions that we just discussed. If you have to preserve the original list, then you will have to take up extra space no matter what. However, if you are given the liberty that you can modify the actual list, then you can perform these operations in place. It is always a good idea to clarify these kind of doubts with your interviewer first. That will help you to ace your interview and come up with a better answer. What other method did you try to solve this problem and what problems did you face? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and I would love to discuss all of them with you. If you want to read more about this problem, I am including a link in the description below to my website studyalgorithms.com, a pretty nifty website to help you out with your programming needs. As a reminder, if you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This motivates me to make more and more such videos where I can simplify programming for you. Also let me know what problem do you want me to solve next. Until then, see ya.